Hi, I'm Jesse Anderson from Red Fox Outfitters. I'm here to talk today about a couple new shoes that I'm pretty excited about. The New Balance Boracay version 3, formerly known as the 980, and the brand new Saucony Freedom ISO shoe. So I've been running in both of these shoes in the last week, and I'm excited for them for different reasons. First up, the Boracay. This shoe has actually been discontinued for 1 year. You might remember me mentioning that in a review video for the Zante. This is another addition to the Fresh Foam line. There are now a few different ones from New Balance. The Boracay, the Zante, the new Vango stability shoe, and the 1080. This guy has a little bit more of a midsole than the Zante. It kind of sits somewhere in between the 1080 and the Zante, and the price sits in between it at $120. And part of the reason the shoe is such a valuable addition to my lineup is that price. The former iterations of this shoe, I would get 600 to 650 miles on, which is more than any other shoe I've worn. And a lot of it was due to this thick chunk of fresh foam in the back, which sits on a 4mm drop platform. You have over 20 millimeters of foam in the front, 24 or so in the back, and then you have your blown rubber on the bottom. This thing was super durable. I took a beating. It probably had the best consistency of cushioning through the life of the shoe. The first couple editions of it were very flat on the bottom. Wasn't much going on. So when you tried it on, it didn't wow you with the on-foot feel, but it did everything I'd want out of a good, reliable trainer. It absorbed shock, kept me injury-free, and did it within a no-frills fashion. So I was excited to see this one come out. They came out with a few changes to it. So the upper of it, which was always kind of a weakness, the first iteration blew out the sides of them. They, instead of using seams, they have, it's hard to see in the video, but they have little screen printed overlays on it that provide some structure. They're not actually attached to each other, it's just to add structure to the mesh of the shoe. They added some flex grooves on the bottom, which I feel has increased the underfoot feel. Like I said, the last two were kind of underwhelming. They kind of felt like a flat board. It was nice in that sense, in that it just did its job without too much, frills about it. But this new one with the flex grooves, it does help with the flexibility of the front of the foot. I don't know how it will affect the durability of the forefoot, but so far it's been doing pretty good. It looks like they've added a little bit more rubber to the front too. If anyone took their Boracays into the 600-mile range, they might have noticed that this blown rubber would wear through towards the end of the shoe. Similar problem as the Zante. And it looks like they've firmed that up a little bit. So you got yourself a pretty durable shoe, good price. That discontinuation of the model, I was pretty upset about just from like a sales perspective too, just because that was a shoe that we could point to that was $110 and then $120 that you got a lot of life out of, and you could kind of point to confidently. Didn't have to pay the extra dollars to get that extra value. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. The one thing I've noticed, it could just be me, I have a history of ankle sprains, so my one ankle's a little bigger. The collar sits a little higher, and that's been kind of rubbing the first few runs, but it looks like it's breaking in. Most heel collars and shoes are built to somewhat form to the foot, and my last run I had some irritation at the beginning of the run, and that subsided by the end of it. So overall, about 80 miles into these guys, and I'm really liking them so far. So glad they're back. We'll see how they hold up compared to the other versions. Other shoe, really excited about. Saucony just dropped these off this week. This shoe is creating quite a buzz within Saucony and within the industry. This is Saucony's first shoe that uses a complete midsole of their new Everrun compound. For those that are unfamiliar with the Everrun, it is very similar to Adidas Boost that you may remember coming out a few years back. It is a thermoplastic polyurethane instead of a traditional EVA foam or some EVA foam compound like the Fresh Foam is. It has qualities like less changes in temperature, so as the temperatures get warmer or colder, it doesn't see the durometer changes that EVA foam will. It retains its shape through the rebound process. They claim, I don't know what kind of test they do to claim this, that it has 83% better rebound to it. It does feel very springy. This shoe itself is very flexible. Before this, Saucony had only put a thin layer of Everrun on the top of their shoe, but I have to say, of the shoes that I've worn with that layer in it, you could notice a good difference. A little softer, but still had some spring to it. This guy has been very interesting so far. It lays somewhere in between the Boracay and the Zante in terms of weight, it is 9 ounces, where the Boracay is 9.4, the Zante is 8.6. It feels like a fast shoe though, even though it's not as light as the racing flat. It has a good kind of Zante-like promotion of forefoot contact there, a good little taper to it. You might notice the colorful bottom of these. This is a new rubber that they've never put on a running shoe either. They call it a crystal rubber. Information about its consistency are hard to find, but it's not your traditional carbon or blown rubber. So one thing I've noticed so far as I've tested these out in the brutal Michigan winter days is that they seem a little bit tackier. I had ran on a pretty icy day where I was getting really good grip in spots I didn't really expect to, and there's not a huge amount of tread, so that was a pleasant surprise. Apparently this type of rubber is supposed to be a little more durable. Saucony claims it's supposed to be a little lighter than like a traditional carbon rubber and a little tackier, but they haven't been able to bond it to normal EVA foam, so this is the only shoe you're going to see it on from Saucony, or the only material you'll see it bound to. I've used this in a long run so far. I've used it in a track workout. It feels very fast. It is very, very flexible, yet at the same time, no matter where I'm landing on the foot, I feel pretty protected. So my hope with this one is that it will end up being like a Zante for me. But where the Zante, I get to about 350 miles and I would notice pains in the top of the foot, a lot more flexibility in the shoe, especially in warmer weather that denoted that maybe the shoe's time was done. I'm hoping this one will carry me beyond that. This does come with a $160 retail price, so that's my hope just from a sales perspective as well, is that extra $40 will get you those extra miles that will kind of cause you to shell out the extra dollars to get a premium shoe like this. But yeah, so far so good. The ISOFIT that they have in many Sauconys is working really well in this shoe. That's these tongues right here that kind of dial in the fit a little more customized, so it has a really good sock-like feel to it. All in all, you put the shoe on, you understand why it's $160. It will depend on the individual in terms of whether it's worth that for their particular training. But so far so good. We'll keep you updated if we find anything out about them. They are brand new and we're really excited. I kind of see these two shoes being used equally by me, probably Boracay and some longer distance things, just to have that extra shoe underfoot. Freedom for just about everything else. They're both going to be very versatile. I'm hoping to get well into the spring on both of them. But thanks for watching. If you get any questions, just message us on Facebook or send us a comment on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more of these scintillating reviews.